both parents being on A-class drugs and, drink and domestic violence. So I didn't kind of grow up like the average. I grew up very, very harsh, but I can say it helped mold my resilience. It helped mold my knowing that never to give up, and any moment it can get better or any moment it can get worse. So it gave me a very strong balance of understanding life in.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Voice of Crypto. This is a podcast where we talk about Web3, crypto, Metaverse, NFT, and everything. And today I have one of the most genuine and one of the most energetic persons I have ever met in last probably 1 year, uh, who does a lot of things and is always on top of new things happening. So welcome on the podcast, Dexter.
No, thank you very much, Abhishek, for having me. I mean, I'm so grateful just to be getting, spoken about in such a positive manner because, I've come from a very dark place. I've come from a very harsh, hard background, and I feel ecstatic, as you can always tell, to have these opportunities and to now be living the dream that I've designed. I've worked hard for many years designing this type of life, and now I'm living it. So I'm very grateful.
Amazing, amazing. So Dexter, to all our audience, why don't you tell us about your journey, what you do currently, how has been your growth, what you do before Web3, how has been your past life in Web2, Web1, whatever. So how you got started?
Okay. Well, I think if I tell you about my whole past life, we'll be here forever. So I won't start all the way back there. But, what I'll do is I'll touch on little subjects so people can understand and have an overview of the person I am and where I've come from, So if we just start from my childhood, I had a very harsh and hard and challenging childhood just due to living in over 21 houses, both parents being on A-class drugs and, drink and domestic violence. So I didn't kind of grow up like the average. I grew up very, very harsh, but I can say it helped mold my resilience. It helped mold my knowing that never to give up, and any moment it can get better or any moment it can get worse. So it gave me a very strong balance of understanding life in terms of even if it's all looking great, it can just turn around. And even if it's all looking bad, it can just turn around. So that upbringing really helped me become the person I am. So I would never feel like, feel sorry for me, like, oh, this is what happened, this is what he's gone through. No, I'm grateful. I'm grateful I survived. I'm grateful I learned from it. I'm grateful I didn't follow none of it. I'm grateful that all of those negative things happened, which made me know what to stay away from. So, I took another positive from it. So that was like my early years. Now, moving forward, I've quickly found out that I was a visionary, because lots of things I've done throughout my career, I've now noticed that it's been a 10-year span every time I see something new happening. And it takes 10 years for people to catch up to say, oh, I get it now. So a quick example of that was in 2002, I registered my first entertainment company, which was a music entertainment company called Streets Entertainment. And I was just helping a lot of the up-and-coming rappers have confidence and believe in themselves that we can create our own music, our own mixtapes, and start selling them and making our own money from our own industry. We didn't have to get signed to a major label. And, I got a nickname, Big Bad Blue. And, I got quite known. And I ended up doing music videos, short films. I had a green screen room, a white screen room. I was managing, I had a record label. But again, it was very early doors. A lot of people didn't understand that you could have a record label. How can we be independent? So it was very difficult because, it was ahead of its time. There was minimal investment, minimal finances, but we just had the sheer determination and belief, Years later, lots of the UK artists that I've helped in the past, i.e. Malik Berry, he's one of the biggest Afro beat artists in the world. I was the first person to give him studio time. You know, Big Nasty, who's now a TV presenter and an artist, and he's got businesses in Tenerife. I used to manage him and help him with all his career, and many, many other artists, is like Gigs and Blade Brown and so many different artists within this UK scene. Respectfully, I helped kickstart their careers. And then I'm very proud to say that all these years later, we have a UK music scene and everybody's making money from these new things now, which are YouTube and iTunes and Spotify. You know, I never had any of that when I was starting. So fast forward another 10 years, I left music and then I got into clothing and fashion. And again, I felt like I was a visionary. I was explaining that we can make our own clothes. So this is my clothing hat here and this is my clothing top. We can make our own clothes and we can have our own fashion shows, our own catwalks, and we can buy off each other. You know, I was kind of emulating and following brands like Fubu, which is Damien's brand, you know, for us, by us. And I really had the vision again. But again, you know, it took a lot of people, a long time for a lot of people to catch on and understand what independence looks like and what ownership looks like. So, you know, I just carried on. But halfway through that journey, I believed I started studying business a lot more. And I started looking up to the giants like Warren Buffett when it comes to investing, or Richard Branson when it comes to creating a brand that you can leverage to get into different sectors in life. So when I've launched Moolah Cake Clothing, I now am happily to say I have 5 departments kind of heading towards like Virgin. You know, I've muscled into the Children's Holiday Club childcare department. I've muscled into the educational, entrepreneurial, public speaking department with Moolah Motivation. I've now muscled into the Web3 space with Moolah Cake Bakery. So, you know, I've built a brand that is able to branch out into different sectors, you know. But even just before we get to the latter, moving from clothing that turned into a brand that went into 5 departments, I started finding myself becoming a lot more confident in what I've achieved, in the knowledge that I have, in what I know's happening rather than guessing. So I've got involved with the Web3 space, luckily enough, through who I would call my mentor, who is very far away. I have spoken to him a few times. I wouldn't say he mentors me personally, but following him for the last 8 years, Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary V from V Friends, he is my ultimate idol in terms of business, you know, in terms of being caring, in terms of trying to help everybody win. I followed Gary V for many years, and I got involved in NFTs in 2001, and I was lucky enough to get a V friend. Well, a couple of V friends, and the journey just began from there when it comes to Web3. I mean, I hope everyone's following along because I've just, you know, speeded away with my whole journey. But I wanted to share it with you step by step so you can get a full picture that I didn't just end up in Web3. I didn't just end up wanting to give back, wanting to have ownership. It's been installed into me for many years. So now when I've got into NFT space and started understanding more about finance and more about digital currency, digital assets, ownership, I just got more and more excited, like just more. And where my NFT gave me access to Gary, you know, I've had conversation with him that's opened up my horizons to that I'm doing the good thing, I'm doing the right thing, and it's only going to get better if I continue. So, yeah. In the latter, I've ended up in Web3 space. I'm now a Web3 educator. I have my own Web3 project, which is Moolah Cake Bakery, which is an online subscription-based school for adults and children. But more importantly, why, you know, this podcast is going to get special in a moment when we start talking about what I'm actually doing at the moment, which is going to tie in every single department that I've been involved in, every part of knowledge and research that I've been involved in, into this one beautiful, amazing, never done before 2-day event. So I think I want to pause there a minute before we get into that 2-day amazing event and just have your opinion or have your feedback on my journey so far, Abhishek. Let me make you take the floor.
Sure. Amazing journey, Dexter. And I really loved your part saying that when probably other kids would have broken down, they would have taken the negative route. You took it like a positive thing and started saying things which I don't want to do, and I really got goosebumps when you said these things, because a lot of people blame their childhood or their upbringing, saying that I am like this because of this. But end
Yeah.
of the day, it's a never ending circle. If you do the same thing, your kids will again. So it will never end. It
You're
is
never
never
going to
ending.
break the cycle. And that's a good word
Correct.
to use, break the cycle. And that's what I
Correct.
was aiming to do. I didn't want to have the excuse that because of this, that I am like this. I
Correct.
don't believe in that. Mm.
Absolutely. And they say if something doesn't kills you, it makes you strong. And I think that's what we have taken as a positive thing. And to all the users, Dexter teaches a lot of kids. I have been to the college where he teaches, and he has a huge fan following of kids who are learning from him how to improve their life, how to do things better. And I think that puts the base of what Dexter is bringing in the next few months. One of the biggest things which are going to happen in the industry. So Dexter, I will not take the center stage, and I will like you to talk about it now.
God bless you, man. I appreciate you. Right now, I'm ecstatic. Why? First of all, I'd just like to say shouts out to Tekken. Tekken have just made my day. Tekken 7, a game from the Web 2 space, from the real console gaming space where I've grown up with all my life from PlayStation 1. They've just said they're going to be on board with Black Tech Day. It's just made my day because it's really resonated with me to where I've come from to now with who I'm partnering with. So it just shows me that what I'm trying to display to other children, that life is what you make it. You don't have to end up where you started, or you never know what the future holds if you go for it. This is a perfect example. I'm living proof of leading from the front. You never know what's going to come out if you go for it. And right now I'm going for it. I'm going for hosting the biggest event of my career across 4 floors of London South Bank University. So I am the first person to take over the whole university, every single room, every single floor. What we are doing is we are displaying financial education, technology and gaming for parents, businesses, youth, colleges, universities. We're delivering workshops, presentations, panels, gaming competitions, giveaways, competitions. It's got to be a day that it oozes excitement. It oozes memories. It oozes education. And I want people to start seeing education in a different way. Because when we think of education, we think about school. When we think of school, we think of trauma. Some of us may think of good times and past times, but majority of us think of, oh, I've got to learn. Oh, I've got to study. Oh, I've got to read. But these things is what makes you great. It's just that you've had a different way of learning from your past. Now I want to reintroduce you to a new way of learning, a new way of achieving greatness, which hasn't been done before, because we are in this new world of new reality, should I say, of things that haven't been done before, whether it is AI, VR, AR, NFTs. So Black Tech Day is so relevant right now, not only because of the values it's going to bring in terms of education and influences and fun and memory, but most important, which is detrimental for me, is that I am trying to encourage and allow Black people especially, so not exclusively, just especially, to understand, A, they are welcomed in the tech space. B, you are more than capable of being in the tech space. And C, this event is not exclusively for you, but it is directly directed at you to make sure you understand that if any other day you didn't understand that Black people was allowed in technology, this is the 2 days that you understand this day is for you. You're allowed to come in there and be yourself. You're allowed to come in there and not feel out of place. You're allowed to come in there and ask questions, be loud, you know, do selfies. You know, you're allowed to be yourself and you won't be judged. You won't feel like, why are they here? This is what the event is about, making sure everybody from all races, from all disabilities, from all cultures, to feel included. And I want you to understand where this stems from. I have studied and I have been involved and I have attended many events throughout the last 18 months. And I would name a few, not to highlight them in a negative way or anything, but I just want you to show you how many of events I've attended, the type of events I've attended, and what didn't resonate with me when I was at these events. So if we start with things like NFT NYC, I was a guest speaker. The tickets was £500. So I therefore know that none of my underprivileged community would be able to afford to go. And then it was in West End, which a lot of us don't go to. So then we went Comic-Con. Comic-Con is a comic event, which is in Excel Center. Again, away from the underprivileged community. You know, I went London Tech Week the other day, and I hardly saw any young Black entrepreneurs or young Black people that felt included. And again, the tickets was £200. So I'm just trying to highlight why our Black youth, our Black people feel disincluded, feel not welcomed, or just don't even get the information to know that these things are happening. So I've made a conscious effort to bring Black Tech Day into the heart of the community, more known as the ghetto, more known as Knife Crime Central. I have brought it to this place to create change, to change the narrative, to provide opportunities, to make sure we are hitting all demographics of humans to feel included. This is what Black Tech Day is all about. And I'm actually happy and grateful that you've given me a platform to express the importance of this event. And like, I need everybody to get behind it. I need everybody to support it in a way that you understand it's not exclusive to anybody. It's called Black Tech Day to make sure that Black people understand you are included. Because before, it was called Tech Taster Day. When Black people read the word tech, they automatically feel disincluded. So if I kept it as Tech Taster Day, the industry will turn up, the technicians will turn up, the rich people will turn up, but the Black people, the underprivileged people, the poorer communities will feel not included. So just to make sure everyone gets it, Black Tech Day is not exclusively for Black people, but it is intended to make Black people feel included because they understand this is their special invite to the tech world. And that's my story.
Correct. I really resonate with you, Dexter, and I think there are a lot of common things, and that's what Voice of Crypto also stands for. Voice of Crypto stands for everybody has a voice, irrespective of your race, religion, gender, color, nationality, because we are in a world of tech, we are in a world of Web3 where everything is decentralized. So everybody is has a voice, and I think the similarities what you're also trying to create. So we all are very excited for the Black Tech Day. When are the dates? When is it happening? And how can people buy tickets for it?
Okay, so some special stuff to announce right now. So first of all, obviously the dates. The dates for everyone's diary is August 19th, August 20th. That is a Saturday and Sunday, 2023. The event is happening from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. And I'm talking the first panel is at 10:30. So we also want to be the same as the industry. You know, when we go to these events and they start at 9 a.m., the first talk is at 9:15. And there's lots of people in the building. So let's try and, you know, be the same people. The event starts at 10. The first panel's at 10:30. Let's make sure we're there nice and early so we're getting as much value as possible. The event is taking place in the heart of Croydon, in the newly refurbished London South Bank University. That is the Croydon campus. And remember, This is the first person to take over 4 floors of the university. So we are making history. So if you are a TV reporter, a news reporter, a blogger, a content creator, we need you down there so we can highlight this historical moment. Yeah. To get your tickets, you go online to blacktechday.com. Just go online, blacktechday.com. Your tickets are there. I must say, I've done something, me and the team has done something very, very valuable, which is we have made a community price for tickets for a limited time only at just £10. Remember what I said? London Tech Week tickets, 200. NFT London tickets, 500. I care and my team cares about the community, the impact we are having. It is just £10 for a limited time. So please go online and get your tickets. And even when it goes up in price, it's never going to go above £50. Never. Because we have to make it affordable and accessible for our people. Yeah? So let's make sure we make history.